So are you also still summarizing the blog post manually? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to use an AI agent for automated blog summarization in your newsletters. So over here I am running a digital marketing agency and we regularly post new blogs on our WordPress account. And now what I want is that as soon as I post a new blog on my WordPress account, automatically my AI agent, which is OpenAI, should generate the summary of that blog. And further, with the help of Google Sheets, I'm just going to get my audience detail and I'm just going to mail the blog post summaries to all of my clients. That too without any manual efforts, with the help of this simple automation. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between WordPress, OpenAI, which is our AI agent, then Google Sheets and then Gmail. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also want to create this automation for your business? Then for that you have to come with me towards my screen.
Welcome to my screen. So in this video we are going to explore how to use an AI agent to automatically summarize your blog posts and incorporate them into your newsletters. So by using AI, you can save time and engage your audience with concise, impactful summaries and keep your newsletters fresh and relevant. This automated process helps you to streamline your content creation and maintain a consistency across your communications. So what we're going to do in today's video is, over here you can see that I have the details of all of my clients I want to send the newsletters to, and as soon as I'm just going to publish a new post on my WordPress account, automatically my AI agent is going to summarize that post and send an email, or you can say newsletter, to all of these email addresses given right over here in my Google Sheets. Alright, so to do this, I've simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy, and as soon as we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on the sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here, I'm an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this sign in, and as soon as we're going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account, and as soon as we're going to click on this access now right over here, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we simply have to click on this button which says create workflow, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as this, which says how to use AI agents for automated blog summarization in your newsletters. Then we're simply going to click on this button right over here which says create, and as soon as we're going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. So trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. Alright, so to get started, I'm simply going to select my trigger application, and for my trigger application I'm just going to select it as WordPress. So I'm just going to search for WordPress right over here, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going to select it. Now after selecting my trigger application for the trigger event, I'm just going to select it as new post published. As you can see the same, so I'm simply going to select it, and now it is giving me a webhook URL. So we are going to use the same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our WordPress account and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. Alright, so what we're going to do is simply I'm just going to copy this webhook URL, and then we have to follow this help text, and it is saying visit plugins, add new page inside your WordPress admin area. Search for VP Webhooks plugin in the search bar. Alright, so we're going to do the same. I'm just going to open my WordPress account, and now from the left side of the bar we have to go towards this plugins and then towards this add new plugin. Now after coming over here towards this add new plugin, we have to add a plugin into our WordPress account which is VP Webhooks. Alright, in order to add that plugin, I'm just going to search for the same right over here, which is VP Webhooks. Over here you can see that I've already installed and activated this plugin. If you haven't, you can do it right from here. I've already done it, so I'm simply going to go towards this settings and then towards this VP Webhooks. And after coming over here towards this VP Webhooks, I'm just going to add my webhook URL over here. Alright, so to do this, I'm simply going to go towards this send data option given right over here. Now after coming over here towards this send data option, over here you can see there are many trigger options. So we have to select the same which we selected right over here in our workflow, which is new post published. So for that, I'm just going to select post created right over here. And as soon as we're going to select the post created, we have to go towards this button which says add webhook URL, and over here it is asking me for the webhook name. So I'm just going to name my webhook as new post, and now for the webhook URL we are simply going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow. Now we have to click on this add for post create button given right over here, and as soon as we're going to click on this add for post create button, automatically you can see that with this we have successfully added our webhook URL. Now after adding this webhook URL, what we have to do is we have to click on the settings link next to the add trigger URL. Alright, so I'm just going to go towards this three dots and then towards the settings, and over here for the trigger on selected post type, we have to select it as post over here. And now for the trigger on initial post status, we have to select it as published right over here, because what I want is if the post is published, then only this webhook URL should get triggered. Alright, you can see that it has clearly mentioned this right over here in the help text too. Alright, so now after doing this, we are simply going to go down and click on this save settings, and as soon as we're going to click on this save settings, with this we have successfully created a connection between our WordPress account and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now with every new post, automatically Pabbly is going to capture the response for the same and trigger this workflow. And in order to do this, it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to open our WordPress account once again. I'm just going to publish a new post. For that, from the left side of the bar, we are going to go towards this post and then towards this add new post button right over here. Now I'm just going to give the post a title and the content. So yes, now after giving the title, I'm simply going to give it the content too. So now after giving both of this, we are simply going to click on this button right over here which says publish. And as soon as we're going to click on this publish, yes, you can see that with this we have successfully published this post. Alright, you can see over here is the link of my post too, and with this we have successfully published this post. Now what has happened is that WordPress has sent the details of this published post to our workflow. And yes, over here you can see that Pabbly has captured the response. You can see the link too. We are going to move forward. You can see all the post details. And yes, with this we have successfully created a connection between our WordPress account and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now what we have to do is we have to move on forward. Alright, so what I want is I want to use AI agent for automated blog summarization. So I want to summarize this WordPress post, right? For that I'm just going to use my AI agent, and for my action application I'm just going to select my AI agent which is OpenAI. So I'm just going to search for OpenAI right over here, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going to select it. You can use any another AI agent too like Google Gemini. Now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. So it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So as you can see, where is the hyperlink to go towards this OpenAI API keys page. So I'm simply going to go towards this hyperlink, and over here we are going to create a new key which we are going to enter right over here in order to create a connection between our OpenAI account and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And in order to create a new key, we have to go towards this create new secret key button, and now it is asking me for the key name and the project. So let's say I want to name my key as AI agent. So I'm just going to enter AI agent right over here, and now we're going to move on forward. Over here for the project, I'm just going to select my project and click on this create secret key button. And as soon as we're going to click on this create secret key button, over here is my API key. So I'm just going to copy this API key, and then we are simply going to click on this done. And yes, now I'm just going to simply paste this API key right over here in my workflow like this. And after pasting this API key, we are simply going to click on this save. And as soon as we're going to click on this save, yes, you can see that with this we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. Now it is asking me to select the AI model. So you can select any AI model according to your choice. I have selected my, which is GPT-4. We're going to move on forward, and now it is asking me for the prompt. So I'm just going to simply enter the prompt right over here. And yes, over here you can see that I've successfully entered my prompt, which is generate a well-structured email summary for a blog post based on the following details: the blog title and the link. Also, you can see the format of the email. I'm just going to simply enter the blog title and the blog link right over here. But we're not going to enter it manually, but instead we're going to map it. So you must be wondering, what is mapping? So mapping is a method by Pabbly, which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step, where we selected WordPress as our trigger application. So we're simply going to map the details from the response of a trigger application only. And as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so I'm simply going to map the title. I'm just going to look for title in the previous response and map the post title. Same we're going to do with the blog link too. I'm just going to map the blog link. I'm just going to open the response, and over here we're going to look for the blog post link. And over here you're going to see the link of my blog post. So we're simply going to map that link right over here. I'm just going to look for permalink. So as you can see, over here is the permalink. So we have to map this. You have to keep in mind that you only have to map this permalink. Now after doing this, we are simply going to click on this save and send test request button given right over here. And as soon as we're going to click on this save and send test request button, my AI agent is going to generate a mail and also the subject based on the prompt which I have given. So I've given the prompt according to my business preferences. You have to give it according to yours. Alright, so now it has generated me the content. So I'm just going to look for the content, and over here you can see the subject, and also you can see the content body right over here. So yes, it has successfully generated me the mail. You can see the subject and the body is separately received. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this AI agent step 2. And now what we're going to do is I'm just going to send this summary to all of my, right over here you can see audience which I have in my spreadsheet. But in order to send this mail, or you can say the summary, to all of them, we have to get their mail to this workflow first, right? And to get that, I'm just going to add another action step, and then for the action application I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets. Now after selecting my action application, for the event we have to select it as get rows, because I want to get these details into my workflow. So I'm just going to go towards this get rows and click on this connect, and now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected a Google Sheets account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me and click on add a new connection right over here. And now with this we have to click on this sign in with Google. Now after clicking on this sign in with Google, it is going to ask me to select my Gmail account. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account right over here. And after selecting my Gmail account, we're going to move on forward. And now it is asking me for some permission. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on this allow Pabbly is safe, and as soon as we're going to click on this allow, yes, you can see that with this we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. Now it is asking me to select the spreadsheet from which I want to get the details. So here the name of my spreadsheet is details, so I'm simply going to select the spreadsheet which is details. And now for the sheet, I'm just going to select the sheet, and now it is asking me for the range I want to get. So here you can see that I have the data from A2 to D26. So I'm just going to enter the same range right over here, which is A2 to D26. You have to enter it according to your personal details which you have in your spreadsheet. Now after entering this range, I'm just simply going to click on this save and send test request, and as soon as we're going to click on this save and send test request, you can see that we have received the details of all our clients which we had in our spreadsheet. But we have received the details like this, but I want to receive the details in array format, and to do this we simply have to switch off this simple response button. And now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request in order to receive this response in array format. And yes, over here you can see that now we have received this response in array format. And now what we're going to do is I'm just going to convert it. For that I'm just going to use iterator. So I'm just going to add another action step, and now for the action application I'm just going to select it as iterator. So iterator is a feature by Pabbly which iterates or loops through all the rows one by one and execute all the below actions multiple times based on the number of items in the data, which is the array which we have selected in our spreadsheet step. Alright, so this is the reason which I switch switched off the simple response button and got the array as my response because I want to map that array in my iterator step. Now for my action event, I'm just going to select it as process arrays and we are going to click on this connect. And now it is asking me to choose the array, so I'm simply going to select it and click on this save and send test request button given right over here. And yes, over here you can see that we have received the response. It has given me the details of the first person in my spreadsheet so that I can further create this automation for this, and automatically iterator is going to run it for everyone right over here in my spreadsheet. Alright, so now we're going to move forward towards the next action step, which is sending of emails. I'm just going to add another action step right over here, and now for the action application I'm just going to select it as Gmail. So I'm just going to search for it and then we're simply going to select it. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as send email and click on this button right over here which says connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select existing connection once again. So if you've already connected your Gmail account, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and then we have to click on this button right over here which says connect with Gmail. Select the Gmail account like we did in our spreadsheet. And now over here you can see that once again it is asking me for some permission, so I'm simply going to click on this allow button given right over here. And yes, over here you can see authorization successful. And now it is asking me for the recipient email address. So over here I've received the recipient email address in the response of my iterator, so I'm simply going to map it. We are going to move forward. It is asking me for CC and BCC. Both of these are not the required fields, so I'm just going to leave it as blank and move on forward. It is asking for the sender's email address, so I'm simply going to select the same. It is asking me for the sender's name, so I'm just going to enter the sender's name right over here. Now after entering my company's name, we're going to move forward and map this email subject which we received from the response of our OpenAI. We're going to move forward. It is asking for the reply to, so this email is not a reply email, so I'm just going to leave it as blank. It is saying email content type, so over here I'm just going to select it as plain, and for the email content we are simply going to map it from the response of our previous step which is the message content body. Now we're going to move forward. It is asking for many other details. All of these details are not the required details. I'm simply going to leave it as blank and click on this save and send test request button given right over here. And yes, you can see that with this we have successfully received a positive response that we have successfully sent an email. So I'm just going to open the Gmail and check for the email sent. So I'm just going to open the Gmail and we're going to go back towards the inbox. And over here you can see that with the help of this digital dynamic sender's name, I have received a mail. And over here you can see the full mail. So yes, you can see that with this we have successfully sent a mail without any manual efforts with the help of this automation. And not only to this one user automatically, this is going to be sent to all the ones who are added right over here in my spreadsheet. That too without any manual efforts. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now upon publishing every new post in our WordPress account, my AI agent is going to generate the summary for the same. And further we are going to send that summary of the post in a mail content towards all the audience which we have right over here in my spreadsheet. So yes, you also go and create this automation for your specific needs and business according to this same logic. And see you in the next video with many more automation tips. And if you have any question or doubts, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box. Thank you for watching.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.